very good morning, good afternoon, and good night to whoever is watching this very podcast. Guess what? My name is Diko D. Andrew, and this is the Youth Pulse podcast, whereby we are speaking from our hearts. And each and every time, we do have a different topics that we'd love to engage with you and the youth, especially if you're age bracket between 16, 17, up to 27. Those are the targeted people because, like, those are the one with the words in their heart that they would love to reach out to people. And this time around, we're going to be talking about navigating family dynamics as a young adult. And each and every time I do have some youthful people in which they're going to be introducing themselves, who they are and what do they do, and any other extra talent. So my people,
Yeah,
Wagwan, what's
We're
popping,
okay,
what's
we're okay.
cracking?
Nothing much.
We're
just here chilling.
just chilling, yeah?
Once again, you can call me Bima.
No, madam,
Presenting the-
you do the right intro. We're
yeah.
doing the that
You want
one.
me to start- you want
Bring
me
it
to
up,
start-
bring it up.
Bring it
You
up.
want me to start with that?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's your girl Bima once again representing Mandari Nation.
Yeah.
So you guys know me from TikTok. Some guys know me from I don't know wherever. But the thing is, today you're seeing me live at iRadio. We're gonna do some little stuff like this.
Serious conversation.
Hey, it's gonna be serious. By the way, it's gonna be the first time you guys are seeing me serious in a lifetime.
Really?
You don't see such stuff.
Your friends are going to be shocked?
It's gonna be bad.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Af Joe, a radio presenter and MC as well. So, yeah. Today's going to be fun with Bim and Diko. Yeah, we're here at iRadio for the youth podcast. I think something like
Okay.
that. But yeah, today we're going to talk from our hearts. We have to, we have to let the pain out.
Are we going to let the pain out?
Yeah.
Are we going to see
Somehow.
tears?
Somehow.
Okay, let's start with this.
Yeah.
In your homes, how are boundaries being set? Let's start with you, Bima.
Well, I think it's all about communicating, yeah? You have to communicate. Maybe you talk about, you need some quality time. You talk to your parents, and you don't have to bring it out in this
That TikTok voice.
that abusive. no, that voice is kind of different.
Yeah.
You have to, calm it down. Be like, please.
But you know, Bima, sometimes, like, if you tell your parent, like, I need some service, you can get it. Adapter in internet, it's not good. Like, they'll just
that happens a lot. Like me personally, my dad has told me that very many times.
Yeah.
Be like, I want to do this, and they'll be like, adapter here. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But at times I don't feel like we should put them on a blade for that, because it also depends on how they were brought up. They grow up in that kind of strict foundation, and which they are trying to lay on us, which we're totally a different generation who doesn't like. There's some things you feel like you can do on your own, and it also depends on what kind of boundary it is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want like a boundary for yourself, like just a space of you and you alone. But then you're living with a family. Obviously, they will be coming through once in a while, and I know you here and there. And there also are other boundaries as well. Like maybe you're someone who loves going for parties. That's your own boundary.
Yes.
So like they will not respect that. They'll be like, no. To them, you're disrespecting them, but
Yes.
to you, you're doing what is like
Yeah.
favoring you. Like
Because
someone
it's very hard to balance, like, you wanting to have the boundary and you wanting to respect them.
Them,
So you just
exactly.
in between, like, okay, where am I in between, juggling between the two?
And this thing comes like this. At some point, I feel, the generation is different.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
Yes.
are Gen Z, and I don't know what they are. One millennials.
Not
something like
millennial,
yeah.
they're even more than millennial.
Exactly. So at some point they should come to an understanding
Yeah.
and be like, these are young people, yeah. They should enjoy their life, but
Yeah.
enjoy it respectfully, yeah. Not this weird
Cutting
kind
off
of
it, yes.
enjoyment, but you should enjoy it respectfully. It will be understandable. Even you, the kid, will be happy. Be like,
I
that
have
is
done
my
it.
mom. You cannot just be there and every time you talk a little bit and your parent is gonna be like,
What are they
find it
saying?
rude in a way. And
Yes.
if you just like you're trying to talk to them, and they be like, you're being disrespectful.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But even in another ways, like, what ways do you guys think it's going to be so effective to communicate what we want to our parents or to our guardian who are taking care of us?
According to me, what you want, first and foremost, if you really want something, even before you communicate to them, you first have to make like a move towards it. So such that if you're coming to them, you have like a background and like something to tell them about it. Because for instance, let's say I'm someone who loves doing music, and then I have never done music before. Then I come to my dad like, hey daddy, I want to do music. Obviously it's gonna be like, no, that's a bad idea. But if at all I have like 2 or 3 songs, or maybe let's say I'm a TikTok content creator, I have like 2 or 3 trending videos and I'm getting something from it, then I come and be like, hey, you know what, this is exactly what I want and these are the benefits. They're going to have like this kind of separate thinking. The other thinking will be like, no, don't allow them to. But then when they're seeing the benefit, obviously they'll be like, okay, why can't we give it a chance?
How did you communicate to your parents about you being an MC? Because sometimes I feel like MC, you have some events which carry till 4 a.m. in the morning. Now how are we going to tell them like, yo, I'm going to an event, I'm coming in the morning?
I remember the first time I did that, it was like a war in the house.
You see? Now this is the conflict.
Yeah, it was like a war in the house. Like my dad is like, you're becoming disrespectful. You want to be coming home after I'm already home. Like,
who is the owner of the house?
So now you feel like you've grown bones and you're like, you can run the home. I'm like, no, that's not the case. But at the end of the day, I have to like, do something for myself, because I'm literally not gonna stay under you for the rest of my life. So if I cannot know how to hustle right now, how will I know how to hustle later when I'm out of here?
Yes.
So still, like, he never perceived it all, but obviously our moms are always the soft touch.
You just go.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm still pulling the ropes because
till now, Bima,
it's very hard. It's different for a boy and it's different for a girl.
Yeah.
So when you say this and the fact that you're gonna be out that late,
in the morning,
and there are gonna be a lot of questions. The first thing that comes to their head is, who are you with? Or you've now become, a prostitute. Stuff like
that's for sure. That's really for sure. By the way,
they have in their heads, you're now become a prostitute.
Or even in the terms like for you, Bima, they will say like, because you're now a celebrity. You're getting some followers and you're getting some likes.
But at some point, I feel you have to just be consistent. You keep talking to them about it, and you have to get them in this calm moment. You talk to them and be like, this is what I want. You repeatedly keep talking about it.
Take them out on a date. You get the hardest one. Take him out on a date. Or
even when you take them out on a date, they're going to be like, it's expensive. Where did you get the money from?
That's the thing.
Exactly. What I'm doing is not for the money.
They're going to suspect you. But if you're consistent with your points, keep talking to them every time, and this is what you want. You disobey them respectfully.
I love this. I think I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this one. But now for you, Bima, like, how did you handle that very pressure during that time? Because, like, I feel like handling family pressure to follow your path that you wanted, you being an MC, and as well you being a content creator, I feel like there's a little bit of a pressure that comes from your family, maybe. Even maybe not your parents, but the relative. How they go and tell your mother fi rabbit owl fi malbi like this type of conversation. How do you handle it normally?
Me, most times I just keep quiet because there are moments where I have talked to my dad and he's like, no, you just have to let go. There is that moment where the dad is good and the mom is bad, and then they just change, like they interchange. When this one is good, the other is bad. So I remember when I was at school, and then I'm getting reports that I'm not studying, So I'm like,
you're always on TikTok.
Where is the money going if I'm not studying? So, my dad calls me and he's like, no, just let go of that, don't think about it. Because I tell him, I'd be like, it's not that I'm gonna be calling you every time that I want money. I'm gonna hustle on my own because I know you guys have a lot you're going through. So I'm gonna hustle on my own. When I get the money, thank God. If I don't get it, thank God. You're just moving on like that. So he'll be like, no, it's calm. Again, family members from the other side come and be like, I just keep quiet.
And even to add on whatever that you have experienced, I myself, Joe, we have been in Uganda, right? I have graduated, and we are the corona graduates by then. Imagine my relative have the guts to come and tell my auntie and my dad, this girl have not graduated, she's been wasting time. I said like, okay, how much was the money? Every set every term, every semester there's money. Every month there is pocket money.
Upkeep and stuff.
There is upkeep. There's rent. There is I don't know, book sheets, and there's a lot. Like, where am I taking the money? Even I used to look like the poorest person. If I'm eating the money or I'm chilling with the money, won't it show like, yo, this girl is doing this?
It would have shown, because
Yeah.
you wouldn't graduate if you were literally
Yeah.
eating the money.
Yeah, you know, at times choosing a career path when you're still home is also kind of tricky, because our guardians and parents always have like this thing they want us to be, which at times doesn't sit well with us.
Yeah.
But at times we have things that we want to do, but then we are caught up in some kind of space whereby we don't even have to raise our head, because if you do it, they will find you disrespectful at the
Yes,
end of the day.
Yeah.
that's for sure.
But at the end of the day, if you want to, disrespect them, like as Bim said, obediently, you first have to abide by what they want.
Yeah.
But while you're pursuing what you want at the same time, for instance, let's say, okay, they want you to become a doctor, but you have a passion of, let's say, being an architecture, or maybe someone who does a lot of drawings and stuff like that. So yeah, you can be there trying to pursue what they want while you're doing what other thing you want, maybe tailoring or what. So after that, if you graduate or maybe you get done with whatever they want you to do,
Then now
obviously,
you can come and think.
whatever you're doing, you know it's gonna be like fast-paced thing that will earn for you
Yeah,
some money.
that's for
So when
sure.
you start earning the money, that's when they will start like coming to realize like oh. But when you're still with them, it's gonna be like what I trying.
It's gonna be hectic.
Very
It's-
hectic.
it's
Because
going to
I was once there. It's like, yo, you're becoming disrespectful, want you to be this, you're doing your other things. But right now, whatever they are saying I was doing is what is now helping me, like,
Yeah.
making me
Yeah.
standing 10 toes, like,
Now for you, Bima, like with TikTok, of course, there is money being generated. Let me
Tell us
just
about it.
I'm not receiving anything.
I am, but-
haven't received.
now with you, because like I expect that you're doing emceeing as well.
Yeah.
You're doing TikTok, and there's other extra money that comes in. Like now, you living in your parents' house, how do you practice the independency of Bima in your father's house?
Well, I buy power. I buy units.
Okay.
Jetco.
Yes.
And buying Jetco, there is a way you feel a boss when you buy. But I don't know what's wrong. But Jetco. Hey,
You feel a boss in a way.
I feel a boss when I buy those,
Yeah.
Units,
those units.
yeah.
So every time I buy units, and they'll ask me, where did you get the money from? I'll be like, oh, I did this. I maybe I had a gig with someone, and then I was paid for it. Then my mom will obviously be like, oh, that's good. When is
hustling.
another one? When is another?
They're expecting
gig? Yeah.
more.
Before they start trolling you after.
But I had to take the responsibility. I'll be like, okay, I'll be getting the units. I'll be buying units. At least that's what I can afford. Yeah.
And by the way, just to add to that, like it looks to them like a stepping stone of, okay, you are working towards establishing yourself.
Yes.
Because parents are, by the way, they are critical thinkers and critical lookers. Like they look into things
Yeah.
differently. You'll be doing some things and like, okay, you're earning money, but literally they are not seeing whatever you're doing with your money to the family.
Yes.
And they will reach the point where you want to step out of the home, like you want to start living on your own. They'll feel like, no, you cannot handle that. Because if you're with them once in a while, you buy power, once in a while you go to the market and come, with foodstuffs. Once in a while, you don't ask them for anything. They see you buying your own stuffs. So it will reach that point where you'll be like, okay, you know what? I think I need to step out.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you do those cheeky things at home, buying this, that, they'll be like, okay, I think you can do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to give you a probational period, like, okay, when
Let's
you give you,
see.
like 2 months.
Yeah.
Let's
And now
see how you're gonna go about it.
No. There. No, I don't.
But it's
I don't-
different with girls, though.
Yeah, it's different with
It's different with
girls.
girls.
For boys, it's different. For girls, it's different. You're gonna do all the stuff. Maybe buy foodstuffs. Maybe pay for Jetco.
Yes. I think
Just-
people were stuck on
Oh my
Jetco.
God.
Jetco is a huge thing, by the way. It's a very huge thing.
Let me just keep quiet.
Yeah.
You get the stuff like that, and at some point, there is that moment where they're gonna feel like you're overly doing stuff for them, and they'll be like, "Oh, so you're doing this stuff for us? Like, who said you should do it?" Like, I'm also trying. You're trying to be independent, but the parent is also, pushing you. No, you're
Yes.
still a kid.
You're in my
Yeah.
This is my duty. They have that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so-
So
But there's another way of maybe there's a young person who is outside there. They're not making enough, but there is something that they can contribute to the family,
family, yeah.
apart from being financial. And I think maybe
I think maybe once in a while, just be there, help them like with house chores, small.
Slash
handwork.
the
Slash
compound.
yes, the
Once
compound.
in a while, wash the bathroom. By the way, and a lot of people will be like, "Nah, I cannot do that." Do
Yeah.
that, by the way. Wash
Yeah.
the bathroom.
Yes.
And yeah, once in a while, clean, sweep the room, mop. Because one time you're gonna be staying alone, you have to scrub your bathroom. You
Yeah.
have to mop the floor and stuff like that. Yeah. Play a role like in a family meeting. Can be the treasurer, maybe be that advisor.
Yeah.
The wise one. You just
Sure,
stay there.
treasurer to a what? To a youth.
It's very risky.
They would rather give it to a grandma. They will not trust a youth with money.
Not at all.
Right away. But in another hand, you earlier on mentioned, Bima, about disrespecting them, what?
Obedient.
Yeah.
Obediently. But now, how can I respectfully disagree with my family members' views without damaging our relationship?
Well, for that, I think, like, you just have to, you don't have to talk back at that moment. Let's say we have an argument, with
Yes.
my parent. Let's say I have an argument with my parent right now. I am not going to talk back at that moment because, everything is heated. And if I talk back, it's going to be, some kind of, it's going to be
Yeah, it's
hectic.
going to be
like,
conflict.
Exactly. So I will have to wait, let them calm down. And then when they are still, when they have that peaceful moment, I come back with the same topic. So that's where consistency comes in.
Yeah.
I will keep bringing it up. You get
Until they're
mad.
fine with it.
Exactly. You get mad, I'll wait for you to calm down. When
And
you're
bring it up
happy,
again.
Bima, let me take myself an example, right?
Mm.
We had this friction. Everybody calm down. When I come to the consistency part, I apologize. Boom. As if I added like some
You have added
oil
fuel to the fire.
on the fire.
you don't apologize. I say, you just keep quiet. You just keep quiet and it just goes off like that.
Yeah.
Because in an African home, this apology does not work. Because
Yeah,
when
true.
you apologize, it's like,
You
you
just-
just started the fire. So you have to just keep quiet like that. When the thing comes down, bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes down, you bring it back again.
Also, there are other ways that you can, agree with them, like, because our parents are very funny. They will come up with something and they expect you to be okay with it, but yet you
Yeah.
have other views, and at that moment you cannot like give them your view because
Yes.
they'll feel like what I'm saying at that moment is right, and you don't have a say about it.
Yeah.
But at times, you can also give your view in a way that you don't disregard what they are saying. You can be like, okay, I think what you're saying is right, but I think I have another solution. We can do it this way, respectfully, like at a very calm voice, and in a way that they will not feel neglected. In a way that they will feel like, okay, my point is valid, but I think he's trying to add up something, or she's trying to add up something better. Like, okay, for instance, let's say he wants to buy this mic, and then I know a mic which is better than this, but they're all mic. At the end of the day, they all
Yes.
function, right? So he's like, oh, I think this mic can work out for me. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, the mic can function. It's a good mic, but I think if we use the other one, it will last longer than this. So like that's like a respectful way of like disagreeing with them. Don't be like, no, what you're saying is, because if you're like, nah, what they feel like you're trolling them, you think that you know more. That's where the heating arguments all comes in, and be like,
Yeah.
nah, you're disrespecting us, blah blah blah, all this, all that.
I remember I got into some argument with my dad concerning Jetco. So
Okay. I think Jetco is going to give you free units.
So, he wanted to buy units.
Yeah.
I had just come from Accra, and he wanted to buy units. And he says, oh, we are going up to the office of Jetco to buy units. And I'm like, no, this is not how you do it, yeah? There is,
bring the modernity.
I'm like, there is mobile money. Let's put the money in the phone, then I buy the units from my phone. Or we go to let's say the nearby people, and they will do
The
it for
agent.
you. And the guy is like, no, these guys are thieves. Then I'm like, no, that is just commission. Like, this is how they do it. Rather than you wasting your fuel,
transportation, first
you're
of all,
wasting your fuel. You are going there and then coming back. How much is fuel? So when I just asked him, how much is fuel?
You're disrespecting him.
No, he kept quiet. I think he went inside and thought about it. So he just came out with the money and he gave it to me, and he's like, okay, you go and put it in your mobile money, then you buy the.
He passed digested.
So that there it was, respectfully,
Yeah, true, true.
Disagreeing.
Yeah, respectfully disagreeing with the idea, because we are going to JEDCO office and then coming back.
To Mauna, then back home.
That distance.
Yeah.
How much is, the economy is even not sweet.
Favoring.
So what is happening?
Let's not go there.
Anyway, when it comes still to navigating between family dynamics and as young adults, of course, in a family, you will always be compared either to your younger sibling or to your elder sibling. Yeah, they'll say like, why don't you act like this,
Right.
or this one is better than you, and there's a lot of rivalry like in between there. But what are the tips for dealing with such situation in a home as a young person?
Joe, go ahead.
I should go ahead. Anyway, at times you also have to make like your parents understand that not everyone is the same.
Yeah.
You can disagree with them on that, even by using them as examples. Like for instance,
You'll be chased out of the house.
no,
You'll be chased.
no, like you'd be like, okay, for instance, let's say obviously all our parents have their siblings.
Yes.
They all have like different character traits. For instance, the way your dad takes himself is not how his sister
others,
takes himself,
yes.
or how his brother takes himself. You can give him as an example. Like, I cannot come to you, tell you like, why don't you be like Uncle so and so? That's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
And the same way you're gonna be feeling is the same way I'll feel when you're comparing me to someone else. So if we make them understand that, they will not be comparing us like to our siblings or other people.
Yeah.
They'll have to settle with the fact that each and everyone are there, so their responsibilities in a different way and approaches things in their own manner. Yeah.
Okay. In another hand,
Sometimes it does not work like that, man.
They just want you to be like so and so.
They just want you to be like, when they see the other one is successful, they also feel like
Yeah,
you
they
should
want you
be
to be
like that.
successful.
Yeah,
which
you're
is
not doing enough.
Which is not the thing. Like that, too much pressure can make the child go into some kind of
by the
mental
way,
state.
we've actually seen people down there who resort to things that they're not supposed to be doing just because the pressure at home is too much. Like, okay,
Yeah.
if so and so is making it, why can't you be making it? They expect you to be like getting the end result of things as fast as the other one,
Yeah.
forgetting that God has gifted people differently. Yeah,
that's
God
why we
has
have been
different
given
timing for each
different
and everyone.
names, different genders, different height, different colors.
Exactly.
It's just
but
it's
they,
so
they
serious.
will not, accept that. Like they will disagree with it
But it's
unless you start, making it and they are seeing the fruits. Be like,
You be
okay.
dashing them 20K.
But now in that scenario, like how will I make my parents understand that I'm no longer a child, I'm transitioning to be an adult as a youth? Because like as you have mentioned, you have taken the responsibility to be paying JEDCO. For Joe, maybe you're buying water, maybe you're buying oil. Kida.
Well, transitioning starts, from I think at age of what? Okay, let's take it the scientific way. I didn't do science, but I studied a little bit of science. I think transitioning starts at the age of 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's now when you start feeling like your voice is changing, you're starting, to develop with things on your body and stuff like that. But in terms of you transitioning from home to becoming an adult, it comes with a lot of things. Responsibilities, I can say one of it, as you mentioned earlier, paying the JEDCO or buying water or doing, whatever it is. How you also handle yourself outside home, because outside home we're always gonna run into issues that we have to be solving outside home.
Yes.
Because there's some issues we feel like it shouldn't reach home. They will just come and find like, oh, so and so got involved in so and so, but how did you figure your way out? How you figure your way out will also, bring that kind of mentality into them. Like, okay, we think he can figure things out by himself. For instance, let's say you need something. Let's say I need a jacket. And then I'm stuck somewhere. I'm cold. I need a jacket, but I have money that can get me that jacket. But I don't want to risk this money because I feel like I will not be having money for going home. How am I going to solve that? I can just go to the jacket person like, hey, you know what? I have this amount of money. I will give you this. I'll clear the balance later. If at all you have a common understanding and he gives you the jacket, yeah, I'm going to grab the jacket, I go with it. Obviously, I'm going to ask you, where did you get the jacket from? I bought it, right? I'm like, why didn't you tell me that you're like, you know what? I was stuck somewhere, so I just never wanted to bother anyone. I thought it could be a good idea if I do it for myself.
Yeah.
Now, that way, they start looking at you like, okay, from being a kid who asks, you're transitioning to someone who can find a solution for something by themselves. You get. and also how you start, some conversations with your parents. But it's very important.
In a healthy way, what do you guys think the healthy ways to cope up with the family conflict as a young adult?
Healthy way, I think communication.
Okay.
Communication really helps a lot. You have to communicate. If something is wrong somewhere, you have to communicate about it. Talk to your parents, so let them know where they are wrong. Yeah. But also talking to them, you have to come in a calm way. You don't have to
point fingers.
Yeah, you don't have to come boss and be like, yo, you did this. You have to, humble yourself.
We're having Genovine parents.
You have to humble yourself and talk to them, communicate and be like, oh, this and this and this, I didn't like this. I didn't like this. So maybe if it would change, it would be better. Obviously, it's not going to go right the first time, but, with communication, they will think about it, and maybe they will later come on and be like, oh, yeah, what she said was right.
But also the timing of the communication matters a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to do a proper timing, find that, precious time where, they are off stress, you're just seeing them relaxing, and,
that
just try and have
moment.
that parent and, child discussion with them. Sit down, hey, ABCD happened on this day. Obviously, don't make them feel like they are wrong. Make them feel like, okay, yeah, you did that out of guidance for me, but I never liked how you did it. Make them have that. Hey, he's respecting me. He's making me feel the dad here or the mom here.
You should even practice active listening. When they are speaking, you just listen. You just listen to whatever they are because, that moment they are off. They are completely off. So anything you say,
it will be.
And by the way,
could be a trigger.
In such a moment whereby they are talking back at you, I think the best thing to do for yourself
is just keep quiet.
Keep quiet and listen. But some of us, we are
Gen Zs,
we don't have patience. we're always running out of gas. We feel like we always have something to say. And that's how, by the way, we always get into troubles like fights with our parents and
that's
stuff.
Freedom of speech.
No, it's a freedom. It's a freedom of speech, but when do you bring it up? When do you talk?
No, with the Gen Z, we believe in freedom of speech. You cannot shut me up, Gen Z, you cannot do this. You cannot speak and I keep quiet. I have to come in.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's how Gen Z is. But then
I did not say that.
I said it. So the thing is now when we practice this active listening, obviously you just have to listen. Whether the things are coming in hot, stray bullets, you just have to keep quiet. You swallow
Inhale.
You just listen. You go inside. If you are to cry, you cry. If you're going to watch, you watch. But you don't talk back till you calm down. Then you later on talk your other stuff.
It's always beautiful whenever it comes to the Youth Pulse podcast. The time really runs so fast. We came to an end of our conversation today with our two amazing guests. If you have just watched this, just contribute with your comment and speak from your hearts as well in the comment section, because you never know, maybe your uncle or your auntie or your father or your mother will be passing through the comments and they'll be seeing you speaking from your heart.
Be careful.
Just be careful on how to use your words. But also the main point of it all is that we need to always be an active listeners, and as well we need to know when to communicate and where to communicate, and as well at what time we need to be communicating. Until then, keep the conversation going, and my name is Nico Andrew. This have been the Youth Pulse podcast. Till next time,
the Youth Pulse podcast, speaking from our hearts.